Greetings, it is I, Tantus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue our discussion on the lands, legends, planes, and planeswalkers of Magic the Gathering, where I take some of the world settings and information that gives life and breathes essence into the world of Magic the Gathering, and I share it with you. This week, I want to introduce a legend. The first one I'm going to do, I want to introduce Squee, Goblin Naboo, or Squee the Cabin Boy of the Weatherlight, as either way you want to describe him. So Squee, of course, he was a goblin. He was a goblin that was effectively the cabin boy of the skyship Weatherlight. That's effectively the kind of position he was in. Now, the story that we see of him goes from the Weatherlight expansion all the way through the end of the invasion block, and that's where we really connect with him in any of those sets in there that involve the skyship Weatherlight. Now, he was a goblin of Dominia, and he was actually really smart for goblins of Dominia. So he was kind of a genius among his own people. Unfortunately, that's not saying a lot, but still genius for a goblin. Now, as I said, he traveled with the skyship Weatherlight and was loyal to a fault of that crew. His loyalty was unmatched of anybody there. And he's known for a couple of things. His horrible foul cooking, his love of eating any kind of bugs or insects, and the unusual way that which he speaks. Now, he traveled the crew from Jamoria into Wrath along their adventures on the Weatherlight. In Wrath, of course, he's known for kind of nicking something from the Weatherlight, this small little thing of a toy that she looked after and made him feel happy. And he was known for hiding when things went bad. So his greatness wasn't really shown a lot in this set, as he just tried to avoid a lot of the horrible combat that kept happening to the poor skyship. Now, where he really shined is when they headed to the plane of Mercadia and Mercadia City. There he was mistaken for a Kirin, one of the elite goblins which were ruling the city from the shadows. So therefore he kind of became one of them and became an elite of this place. He used this status to actually help negotiate getting the ship repaired and them escaping from Mercadia. So it was actually his influence there that got them, really pushed them into escaping from this place and returning to Domineria. Of course, then the next time we really see him is during the invasion, where he's with the crew as they go on their various adventures and attack the stronghold during the Wrath overlay. It's unfortunate at this point in time that he and Gerald are captured. Gerald ends up going off into Phyrexia, where I talked about previously in him fighting Urza. Squee, he's given immortality, and then given as a gift to Krovax and Urtai, now corrupted and under the control of Phyrexia, to effectively torment and kill forever, over and over and over and over again. Eventually, Gerald returns, having resisted the gifts that Yawgmoth was going to offer him, and the two of them united to fight back against Krovax and Urtai. It is this point in time that Squee does his next greatest thing, where he messes with this sort of healing machine which was granting Urtai more life and refreshing him, and by accident he short-circuits it, and he kills Urtai. He defeats him, and helps turn the tide of this battle. We don't see a lot of him for the rest of the adventures of through the apocalypse, but we know what happens to him afterwards. It's after everything is said and done, he, Sisay, and Tangath, the Minotaur, get together again and decide to go on adventures, and they have the skyship Victory then, representing the victory over Phyrexia. They, of course, mourn their lost friends and say goodbye to other friends which have decided not to travel with them and go upon their own way. And that is where we leave off the story of Squee. It is unknown whether the immortality he was granted lasted beyond the war itself, and it very well could have. We don't know how it really functioned. He could still technically be around now. He could just be immortal and always a kind of figure there in the background. Squee, the goblin. I find that very interesting about his character, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to him about him, because he is a very interesting character, and he brings a lot of life to a race that's often looked at as being very kind of savage and just dumb. Now, he has been represented in a lot of quotes and cards, and a couple of cards which bear his name, but there is only one actual card which is a representation of him, Squee Goblin Naboo. He's a 1/1, he costs 3 mana to play out, 2 colorless, 1 red, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if he's in your graveyard, you may return him to your hand. So he is a goblin that keeps coming back. Strangely enough, this is during Mercadian Max, and almost, I guess, because of the nature of the card they made for them, they made the later enhancement to him that kind of fit along the lines of he always comes back. I can't say for sure, but that's probably why they did it in the storyline. Anyway, so that's it for today. I introduced you to Squee, an interesting goblin and a good representation of his race in comparison to many of them, who served aboard the skyship Weatherlight and actually helped them out a lot. He proved himself to actually be kind of a great hero, even in his own sort of strange way, and he's just an interesting character in the general. So if you have any questions, comments, anything you would say, anything I think they left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, show support for the channel, the Empire, and the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can always check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.